This is the vocabulary video for Mesopotamia. Let's begin. Your first word is Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is a river valley civilization. It's located in modern-day Iraq. It's also sometimes called the Fertile Crescent because it has a crescent shape to it. You can see on the maps in the video here in our PowerPoint. This section on the world map is where Mesopotamia is located, that little red dot. But then if you zoom in, you get this map on the right hand side. Anything in green in this crescent shape is called Mesopotamia, and that's why it's sometimes called the Fertile Crescent, because that area is shaped like a crescent. The next word is fertile. Fertile means rich soil or good soil for growing crops. So the whole Fertile Crescent was a good place for growing crops. Your next vocabulary term is Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers were rivers that framed the civilization of Mesopotamia. So you can kind of see an aerial view here on the right side, but on the left you can actually see where these two rivers were located. This one more to the north is the Tigris River. I'm tracing it with the cursor now. And the one just a little further south is the Euphrates River. See how they kind of outline or hug the Fertile Crescent? Your next two words are on one slide here. The first one is Sumer. Sumer is a region of Mesopotamia. You can see it here in green. That whole area outlined in green is called Sumer. The next word is Ur, just U-R, kind of a funny word. Ur is a city in Sumer. You can see it located right here, this red dot. That's the city of Ur. So if we're going in order of size, the biggest region would be Mesopotamia, or the Fertile Crescent. Sumer is a smaller region within Mesopotamia, and Ur is a smaller city within Sumer. They all kind of fit within each other, but they're all part of Mesopotamia. Your next vocabulary word is city-state. A city-state is a city that acts independently as its own country. It would kind of be like if New York City decided to be its own country, that would be a city-state. The next word we have is cultural diffusion. This one's going to come up a lot throughout 9th grade. Cultural diffusion is the spread of ideas and products from one culture to another. We'll see this starting in the very ancient world, but on the right hand side you see a modern example. The picture is showing you how McDonald's is a company, or it has products that originated in the United States, but since it originated it has spread all around the world. We call that cultural diffusion. Our next vocabulary word is polytheism. Polytheism is belief in more than one God. If a person is polytheistic, they believe in more than one God. So there are kind of two ways you'll see this word, polytheism or polytheistic, to describe someone. Our next vocabulary term is ziggurat. A ziggurat is a pyramid-shaped temple used for worship in Mesopotamia. And you can see a historian or an archaeologist's rendering of a ziggurat to the right-hand side. The next word is cuneiform. Some people say it cuneiform, some call it cuneiform. Either way, it is a system of writing that was used in Mesopotamia. You can see some examples of it on the right-hand side. It was often carved into stone tablets. The translation of the word cuneiform literally means wedge-shaped, because if you can see here on this picture on the right, it's zoomed in a little bit, the actual figures that they used to make their letters and words were shaped kind of like wedges. Next is scribe. A scribe is a professional record keeper. On the right hand side you can see some depictions of scribes from Mesopotamia that archaeologists have found. A scribe would be a person who knew how to read and write. Next we have Hammurabi. Hammurabi was the emperor of Mesopotamia from around 1792 to 1750 BCE. He's probably the most famous ruler of Mesopotamia. And here is why he's so famous. The Code of Hammurabi. The Code of Hammurabi is a system of laws created by Emperor Hammurabi. All of these laws, this code, was carved into stone tablets and placed all over the empire. You can see an example of this obelisk or this stone tablet here. It's actually in a museum. I believe it's in the Louvre in France. And then here, it's kind of zoomed in but a little bit blurry. You can see all of the cuneiform writing of all of those laws inscribed on the tablet. That's it from Mesopotamia.